Hi Pre-Calc. Okay, we're back at it. We did the graphing yesterday. We went up to 1.7 with you guys. Yep. Okay. So 1.8 is combinations of functions, composite functions. I'm just going to really focus on what specific topics I want you to do because this course goes extremely fast and Pre-Calc has an enormous amount of material and it's really important for the courses above it. So I'm going to point this part out, but I'm not really going to do too much with this front part. So I just want you to notice here that there's different notation. So instead of saying function f plus function g, it can be written like that. Right? Instead of saying function f minus function g, it can be written like that. So the only thing I just want to point out in the book is that new notation will happen in pre-calculus that you may have never seen before. Okay? It's very quick. It's very easy to learn. It's very quick. Just notice you recognize the right side. You may not recognize the left. So just take a moment to look over that table. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. What I'm going to focus on is composites of functions, and you've seen this before, so I'm going to spend very little time in this particular section. I'm just going to hit on one topic, and that's it. So a composite of two functions is when you stick a function into a function. Like if you're eating a stuffed pepper, you stick the rice in the pepper, right? So the rice is one thing, the pepper is the other. So this is where you have something that's nested or layered, okay? That kind of idea. So let's just talk that through. This isn't going to be a terribly difficult section. You'll pick it up very quickly because you've seen it before. All right, so first of all, let me talk about notation. This little thing that looks like a Cheerio, that means composite. So this is F composite G. You're going to shove G into F. The function on the right side goes into the function on the left side. Okay? Which means that if you want me to rewrite it in a way you'd recognize a little better, it would look like that. Okay? It's just notation. It's going to look a little bit weird to you. So it's sort of like this. X goes into G of X. So this is the domain of G. This is the domain of G. This is the range of G. But then G of X is going to go into F. So for F, this is actually the domain of F. This is the range of F. Okay? So you don't have to memorize those specifics, but that's what's happening. Now let me give you two functions. And because I might end up using a whole page with that, let me just start right at the top. Okay, I'm going to give you two functions. I'm going to start with f of x equaling x squared plus 2x plus 1. And I'm going to have g of x equal to 3x plus, let's do 2. 3x plus 2. So I'm going to find F composite G of X, okay, which means that G is going into F. G is going into F. And G goes into F where the X is. I'm going to say that one more time to make sure you got that. G goes into F where the X is, okay? So, here's G. It's going to go into F where there are X's. There's an X here, and there's an X here. So watch, when I put it in, you want to think of this as like a template. You have something squared, right? You have X squared. Inside the X goes the 3X plus 2. I'm literally shoving this right where the X is. All right, then plus 2 times X. But we're putting something where the X was. So I'm putting this where the X was. And then plus 1. So let me do it without all these boxes because some students may not prefer the boxes. Right, and then you would simplify all that. Like you would FOIL this. I'm just going to do the FOIL very briefly here. You can write out all the steps if you want to. All right, first term squared 6, that would be 12 plus 4. So on the homework, I do also want you to simplify this as well. I'm just doing it briefly. Okay. So in the homework, you're going to stuff one function into the other, and then you want to simplify it all the way out like I did here. Now let's go the other way. I'm going to rewrite the functions down here just because I was scribbling on them up there, and I don't want to confuse you. Okay, now I want to ask you to find G composite F of X. So this time, we're going to go the other way. We're going to go in the other order. F now becomes the one that gets stuffed inside G. So this time, we're going to take all of F and shove it into G. And it goes in where the X is. Okay? So we're going to take G. G is the template. G is the outer function. G is like the cup. F is the coffee. And I'm obviously saying that because I like coffee. And I have one very close to me right now. But it's that idea. This one on the left is the cup. F is the coffee or the fruit juice, whatever you do in the morning. All right, so G is the cup in this case. F is the coffee. For me, it's definitely coffee right now. Let me take the box off. And I'm just simplifying at this point, okay, which I want you to do also. This course, especially the beginning of this course, we're really going to like sharpen those algebra skills. You are going to be really fine-tuned by the end of this course, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so the composites can go in different ways. So again, the one on the left is the cup. The one on the right is what goes into the cup or into the function. So the one on the right goes into the one on the left. Now watch this, because this is not in the book, this third part, and it's going to be on your test and on your final. So please don't float away on me on this one, okay? So here we go. What can happen in some of the problems, and unfortunately they don't have this in the homework problems I have, is that a value for X can be given. So instead of there being an X here like there were in the other one, see this is an X, which I wrote like this, is an X, which I wrote like this. See, I'm giving a value for X, okay? I'm actually saying, what I'm actually saying is that X is 2. X isn't general, right? You'll notice when you see the book, not that it's in the specific examples, but you'll notice, see, this one is in terms of X. This one is in terms of X. But this one, they've defined X. X is -1/2. So you got to watch. Sometimes X is defined. Now, when X is defined, there's 2 ways you can do this. There's 2 ways to do it. I'll show you a way I haven't shown yet. So the first thing you're going to do is stick 2 into G. All right, let's find the G function. I didn't rewrite them this time. Okay, G is, maybe let me just, give me 1 second here so I can show this to you in a nice way. Makes it a little easier to learn. I'm just transferring them over. That's all I'm doing. Okay, they're over here. I got them. All right. So the first thing you want to do is go from the inside to the outside of the onion, okay? So 2 is a domain, and you want to figure out what that gives you when you put in G. So you have to do 3 times 2 plus 2. So it looks like we're getting 6 plus 2, that's 8. Okay, so that means that the output of this is 8. So then you take the output of this and you make it the input of this. Let me put that F closer. That's too far away. There's social distancing there. I don't like that. All right, put it closer. All right, so now we'll do F of 8. Now you take the 8 and you stick it in the F function. So what was the output of G becomes the input of F. All right. Let's see if I've had enough coffee to do this. My brain is saying 81. Let me just double check that. Yeah, my brain's saying 81. Okay. All right, so that's one way to do it. You just do the layers. Put the 2 in the G. The output of G becomes the input of F. Put the 8 in the F. You get 81. Here's a second way to do it, okay? The second way to do it, this is F composite G. We already had found F composite G at the very beginning. That first page I did for you, remember we got this answer here? Let me just move it down. Hold on one second. Just a little easier on your brain if I don't have everything everywhere. All right, so this is what, if you do the composite first, just like we had done here, you just work out the composite first. That's fine, you could do that. You could do the composite first, and then at the very end, you could put in the X. 4 times 9, 36. 36 plus 9. The first two are going to make 72, and then I have to add 9 to that, would make an 81. Okay, so you see that? It doesn't matter. You can have your preference of which way you would like to do the composite. Now, I'm not giving you much at all. I know this course is going fast. I really admire you guys are taking this during the summer. This guy's a beast. Pre-calc is a beast. So all I'm going to give you is these 3 problems here. If you think you want more, I can certainly dig up some more for you. I mean, the ones down here are also fine. But if you think you got the concept, so you're going to do F composite G first. So G will get shoved into F. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to put F into G. And then you're going to do G of G. All right, now I didn't do G of G, but if you want to see it, if you look at that and you go, what the heck is G of G? I always feel like that's a particular bad day if you're doing G of G, but that's just me. All right, now G of G means you're sticking G into G, right? So I don't know if you need me to write G twice, if that makes it easier to see it. You're taking this and you're putting it inside itself. It's like the Matrix. It's like layer inside a layer, you know? So here's outer G is the template. Outer G is the template. Inner G goes inside the template, right? It's the matrix. We got the layers. Ooh, I'm on 12 minutes. Wow, can I rattle in the morning? Okay, and just in case you needed that, I wanted to give you that. I didn't want to leave you cliffhanging, so to speak. All right, so that would be the last one. You're going to stick G into J. And that's it. Just 3 from this guy. Just rock these out and get these done. All right, I'm going to hit up 1.9 in a few. Okay, bye-bye.